Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto, and this is my channel here. It's called Save with Crypto. And 3 days ago I did this video here, and just look at the thumbnail of that. Okay, so you got this this green arrow here and this red arrow there, and the title of the video was called Bitcoin Pump Then Dump. Okay, so admittedly, when I made the thumbnail, I wanted it to look fairly dramatic. So I probably did exaggerate a little bit with the great big arrows. But if we look at the chart that I used to take the screenshot of the thumbnail, it's there. How good is that, eh? That's amazing, isn't it? Anyway, if that's not a reason to subscribe to this channel, I don't know what is. So please do make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you've got the notification bell set to all. And while you're down there, give this video a great big fat like right now. Have you done it? Have you? Okay, thanks. So yeah, exactly as predicted, the price went up and then came down, and now it's going back up again. Okay, this is no surprise at all, is it really? Because that's what Bitcoin does. However, the way it's going up is that kind of, stepped, kind of like lots of 1 hour candles after each other. That is very Michael Saylor, whatever the institute is, of the week, buying enormous amounts of Bitcoin, and that will probably cause a little bit of a crash at some point. Now, I must say, if you're in Crypto Saving Expert, and if you're not, you can go to savewithcrypto.org/CSE. You will be aware of a guy called BlockPro. Now, BlockPro is a trader with lots of experience. He's from the Netherlands, and what he does within the Crypto Saving Expert Discord is he puts out charts of likely levels that crypto might go to, and he had a much better version of a chart than this, which I will show you, but I'm not going to make a habit of it because it is premium content. So this was the chart that BlockPro put out on June the 30th. You can see the date up there, and this is typical of the kind of thing that he spots. Like we've had a dump, and then we had a green candle straight afterwards, and at that point everyone was thinking, okay, that's it, the dump's over. But then he's aware of this level down here, which is like just over 106. So, the price was to come down there and then go back up again, which is where we are now. So at the moment we're on the way back up here. We're just about to hit this block of resistance here, which goes up to about 108. I think it's more than likely that it will do exactly this. It will just meander around 108 for a little bit and then go up here, up towards 109. So well done, BlockPro. So the thing is, the price was coming down last night and now it's bounced. Now, how did we know it was going to bounce here? Well, if you'd have seen BlockPro's charts, you might have had an idea. Otherwise, there's our indicator. This is the quad rotation stochastic. I'm actually using the new version that's going to be released sometime this week. And what this did show here on the 1 hour time frame is that this convergence band here got below this 20% line here, and we had a bit of space here. Now that seems to be a really good indication that the price is going to go back up fairly rapidly. Now, what I noticed here was that this is the OKX chart, and there wasn't a green background here, like, for example, what we saw here and here. But if we look at the Bitcoin US dollar index chart, which has more history, you can see here that it did get that green background right on that bottom candle there at 2 o'clock in the morning UK time. So that's on the Bitcoin US dollar index chart. That might be the better chart to use, to be honest. But sometimes you do find that other exchanges, such as this one here, this is the BitGet chart, that one also showed it. The BitGet chart seems to be really good, actually, I've noticed. And weirdly enough, the MEXC one as well. But not always the ByBit one, which is the one that I tend to use because I use ByBit exchange as well as other exchanges. So I think for the moment I might leave it on the index chart, because the index chart is the one with the most history. Now, one thing that is going to be coming out in the new version of the quad rotation stochastic indicator is going to be some changes to the actual chart itself. So now these EMAs that I used to put on separately, these are going to be actually part of the indicator. So without it, it looks like that, and with it, it looks like that. Cool, isn't it? So that is just one indicator. Now what we've got here also is these convergence zones here on these EMAs. So these are between the green and yellow. That's a 55 and 21 EMA. And you can see here that this shading happens when you start to get a convergence of these two EMAs. So you can see, for example, we had this purple bearish convergence zone here that started happening on Monday morning, and that carried on all the way until this crossover that happened here on Monday evening, when the green and yellow EMAs crossed over bearish and the price came down as you would expect. Now at the moment we've got a green bullish convergence zone that has been happening since 4 o'clock this morning. So it shows you that now these EMAs are starting to come towards each other, and this coincided brilliantly with the price increasing. Now obviously here what I'm looking for is a crossover of the yellow and green, which could happen probably around the time of the New York Open. So if I had a gun to my head, I would say that for the moment we're just going to go sideways for a little bit more, and then round about 2:30 we go up. Now the way we won't do that is if these two don't cross, and they don't always cross, to be honest. Sometimes this yellow one will just turn back down, but I would say at the moment it's looking more likely that the price will go up. Now at that time I'm going to be on the Stochastic indicator show with Dave. I'm doing a guest appearance there, so that will be from 1 p.m. UK time until 3, and we'll also be looking at the new Stochastic oscillator, which has now been improved. So if we have a look at that, that's this one here, and you can see here that also with this red line here on the oscillator did turn pink at 7 o'clock this morning, indicating that the price is probably going to go up, and indeed it did. Now Stochastic still has a red background on the hourly, so it's not as bullish as it is sometimes. I do often like to look at it on the 5 minute, which is bullish. What we've seen recently is that this green background on something like the 5 minute or the 6 minute, combined with this confirmation arrow here, does give a very strong signal for the price going up. So this actually happened at 4:50 this morning, so also a very good indicator as well. But we can talk about that later on the live stream. Stochastic is a paid indicator, but if you use my code SWC10 you can get 10% off a annual plan. Okay, so the time now is about 10:30 on Wednesday the 2nd of July, and it does look like these EMAs here, the 2155, are going to probably cross over in the next hour or two, I would say, and then we should see some upwards movement for Bitcoin. Now the thing is, if you put that on my other current favourite time frame, which is the 12 minute, what you'll see here is something interesting down here in the oscillator. What you're seeing here is these green triangles, right? What they mean that the convergence band is above the 80% mark here. Now that means that on this time frame the asset, Bitcoin in this case, is overbought. So it means the buyers are running out of steam, so the price could come down a little bit. However, these green triangles, what they mean is that hang on a minute, because the price is still going up. So what will happen, and I can almost guarantee this, what will happen at some point, these green triangles will stop appearing, and when they stop, the price will come down a little bit, and then as long as nothing radical changes, you'll probably see the price go back up. So there will be a little bit of a dip, and then it should go back up. That's what I think. I can't predict the future, but that's what I would put my money on right now. Now what's really cool here is these little triangles do actually vary now in intensity, not only opacity but the actual intensity of the colour. This is something that Math the Coder has put into the indicator, and it just looks great. As I say, this new version will be out very, very soon, probably in the next 24, 48 hours, that kind of time scale. So that is coming very, very soon. But the current one is very, very similar. So it is perfectly usable. So go and get it from savewithcrypto.org/QR. It is free, by the way. So yeah, I think, a little pullback and then off we go. So it'll be interesting to see if this random arrow that I've just drawn plays out. I'll keep you updated, right? So the best way to know about that is to be subscribed to the channel and to have the notifications set on all. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments down below. While you're down there, please do give the video a big fat like, and above all, tell your friends.
I can't believe that Save with Crypto and MAF have chosen to make the quad rotation stochastic indicator in the United Kingdom rather than the United States. But they have clearly lost their minds because they are not even selling this great product. They are giving it away for free.
Okay, so we all know that Save with Crypto is the best YouTube channel on the planet, but it's not financial advice, right? So please do your own research and be responsible for your own actions. That way you will find that fairy tales will come true and we'll all become billionaires.